Welcome back. This is where we left off last time, is we had this short little script, and something that was kind of bugging me is I didn't explain why v2 here it's just v2 by itself, whereas here it's referenced with these the percentage signs. Okay, so there's some rules of when you use percentage signs and when you don't, and it happens to confuse a lot of people, maybe even most people that start using AutoHotkey. It definitely confused me when I started. And so we're just going to look at the rules of when you use them and when you don't. Okay, so we're going to start here, and we're just going to make a variable, and we're going to call it, we'll keep using myVar, and we'll give it a value of the literal string value. So if we were to check it, message box, here we do use it, myVar, okay. And if we run this, we get a message box that says value. Okay. Now we're going to go over when you use it and when you don't. So there's something called traditional format or traditional statement, traditional something, and that's how a lot of things start out in AutoHotkey, and that's this command syntax. And there's also another time where you use the plain equals operator. So we could do myVar equals value, and that would be the same thing as if we just typed value here without any quotes. All right, so these are two pretty much, these are the only times you would use parentheses. So if we wanted to get some variable up here, we would just put it in parentheses, the name of the variable, or sorry, I keep saying parentheses. It's percentage signs, and that would work. So if you're using an equals, or you're using a command, the command syntax. Now we're going to talk about when you don't use percentage signs. You don't use them as a general rule whenever there are parentheses in the equation. So if we had var equals 5 plus 5. Okay, we know we have parentheses in here, so we don't use the percentage signs. And that holds true in a bunch of other things, like if we were calling a function, which we haven't covered yet, but you need to know it. If we were calling a function and passing 5 to it, or passing var, right, we don't put parentheses, or we don't put percentage signs because we have parentheses. So whenever you have those, you don't. Another example of when that would be is an if statement. If var equals 10, which in this case it would, see we have parentheses there, so we don't use it. And also any line that uses a colon equals, because that says we're using an expression and we're not using the traditional assignment as we are here. So this would be traditional, and this would be expression. I probably spelled those wrong. Okay. And so the difference between a command and a function, because I just kind of mentioned that, if we had a function called messagebox, it would use parentheses. Even if we didn't pass anything to it, it would use parentheses. In this case, it would be myVar. Okay, and that's pretty much it. If you get confused, if you're getting an error, we're just going to, we're going to make value 1. It's going to be myVar, and that's not a legal variable name. So if we try to put it in percentage signs and run this, we're just going to get rid of all this other stuff here, kind of clean it up. We should get some kind of error if it runs, and it's going very slowly right now.